Good day, Hudson Valley. I'm your host, Lisa Kaslyn, and welcome to our show, where we bring you the best of what's happening and who's happening in Putnam, Westchester, and Dutchess County. Today, we're talking about women in business. Why? Well, according to a study by American Express, the number of women-owned businesses is about 1.5 times the national average, which is a pretty big number. And we've invited Anne Janiak here. She is the executive director of the Women's Enterprise Development Center, which is based in White Plains, but they do work in Dutchess and in Putnam as well. So welcome, Anne.
Thank you, Lisa.
Good
It's a pleasure to be here.
Great, great, great. So I think it's an interesting data point, this incredible number of women that are starting businesses. But when you kind of compare that number to the amount of CEOs who are actually leading these big S&P corporations, which is only about 5%, you kind of scratch your head and you say, wow, why? Why is that? Is it because women aren't seeing the opportunities in corporate life and they're kind of saying, you know what, I want to be a leader and I'm going to start my own business? What do you think?
Well, I think you're absolutely right with that number. Women are starting small businesses at 1.5 times the rate of men, but they're not achieving all that they can. Mm-hmm. They can set their goals and focus on their businesses and accomplish a lot more. And especially with the help of centers such as ours, mm-hmm. WEDC. We're here in the Hudson Valley and in Westchester, helping women start and expand small businesses. Mm-hmm. We do that by providing a wide array of entrepreneurial training programs and services, really to help them each step of the way. Mm-hmm.
So who's your typical person who's coming into your office to say, are they saying, I have a job and I don't want a job anymore, I want to start a business, how do I do that? Or
there are a variety of reasons. I mean, people are frustrated sometimes with their employment situation, or they have a passion or a hobby that they want to turn into a small business. So we see all of those types mm-hmm. of people coming into our office for help.
So talk about some of the block and tackle programs that you have. I know you have a lot, but talk about some of the real important ones.
Will do. Pathway to entrepreneurship. If you just want to find out if entrepreneurship is right for you, that's a perfect one evening course. It goes over what you need to consider. Mm-hmm. If you really are going to start a small business, the best course to take is our 60-hour Put Your Business Plan Together course. Mm-hmm. It's we offer it in the fall and in the spring. We offer it in English and Spanish throughout Westchester and even up in Dutchess now. And the goal is to help our clients put their business plans together so that they can grow their businesses and access capital. Yeah. You have a really thorough introduction to all aspects of business ownership.
I think that a lot of people start businesses without a business plan. Would you agree?
They absolutely do. They dive
painful.
in. It is, and it's so important, especially if you want to access capital.
Yeah, right.
You have to have that business plan.
You have to have the business plan.
You can work on it, you can tweak it, you can change it, but you need a basic business plan to guide you along the way.
Absolutely. So, what do you think are some of the key factors that maybe intimidate women or hold them back? You know, I mean, everybody says, oh, you know, I hate working for an employer, you know, it's just a paycheck, I'm not passionate about it. But they're frightened of, I guess, the risks that are involved. Mm-hmm. But do you think that there's a lot of women out there that are in jobs that are not taking the plunge for whatever reason?
I think you're right. They could be holding back because they fear leaving a paid job with benefits. Absolutely, that's they're women tend to be a little less risk averse. Mm-hmm. Risk averse. I'm sorry to say the other. They tend to be worried about taking a risk. But most often people are just not sure how to go about starting a small business. They know what they want to do, but where do I begin? And that's where our center comes in, because we can help them put a plan together, as we talked about. In fact, our 60-hour entrepreneurial training programs that are just getting underway, if anyone is listening in the audience and is interested in starting a business, you could call the office and enroll. And if not for the fall, we'll offer it again in the spring.
Very good. So I think the other opportunity that many people don't realize is when you're a woman-owned business, you can actually garner contracts from large corporations, the government, right? Because there's sort of mandates, I guess, in place or policies in place where they have to hire vendors that are women-owned or minority-owned. So you also have another facet of your organization that kind of shepherds them through the process of becoming a minority and women-owned business, right?
Right. In addition to the long-term training program, we also help our clients register as a minority or women-owned business.
Cool.
We help them with the application. It's a lengthy one. It's a process. It's to ensure that the whole MWBE program is above board and no one's there that shouldn't be there. But our center can help them with the paperwork. And because we are with the New York State, we can actually put on a cover letter with the application, and hopefully it'll be expedited when it gets to the state.
Very, very good.
And there's no charge to register as
wonderful.
an MWBE.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh,
no.
but wait, no, but there is a charge if you do the expedited one.
No.
Isn't there?
Actually,
the
to register with
90-day
New York,
one?
to register with New York State, there's no charge.
Okay.
Federal government, if you go through a third-party certifier, there may be fees associated.
Okay. So I want people to understand what this really means. So let's just say a company like MasterCard, for example. How would this play out for a woman-owned business? Let's say, I'm a woman and I own a construction company, and MasterCard is opening up a satellite office somewhere. And I guess they put out bids, right? So how does that play out advantageously for the certified woman-owned business? How does she get a leg up on others?
Well, if you become certified, you're obviously going to use that in your marketing materials. And corporations like MasterCard, PepsiCo, others all have supplier diversity programs, and so they'll be looking for businesses like that. However, you still need to market yourself, and you've got to get out there and let them know you exist. They may come calling when you're, knocking on your door, but you have to do some work too.
Of course, of course. Okay, so talk a little bit about some success stories, because people, I think, get energized and motivated and their initiative spikes when they hear, wow, okay, she was just like me and she did this, and wow, she's an incredible success. Do you have any kind of examples like that? And you don't have to name names per se, but talk about some of that.
Well, in general, anyone that goes through our program, and it is a comprehensive 60-hour put your business plan together course, and they graduate and they have a business plan and they open their businesses, that's a success. And I'm proud of each and every one that do that. Now, the ones I sometimes joke in the office and say, I'm looking for the next Lillian Vernon from Westchester. She started her business at the kitchen table and course, achieved great success. But we have had businesses that have gone over the $1 million mark. We've had businesses that have hired 5 employees. We've had businesses, that are doing good, socially conscious businesses. Importing goods, say, from a country, helping the women over there. They receive funding or money for the supplies they send, and then they're able to support their families and children. So, all of those are really successful stories.
I agree. So, what do you think, how are things going to play out here in the future, in the next 5 years, 10 years, with regard to this disparity between how women are earning as compared to men, right? What are they making, like 78 cents on the dollar compared to what men are earning? Right. Why does that? How does that happen? I mean, do you have any thoughts about that? I mean, I know I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I just think it's incredible because it's sort of like this is a disparity that's widely reported on.
Right.
It's sort of like the cat's out of the bag, yet it's still happening. And how does that happen? Well,
I think it takes time for women to build up the confidence and go forth and start their own businesses and look for, I want those top positions. I want to be there. It's interesting that, I think if you have role models that are successful, that's going to help women. If women can get access to capital, that's going to help them along the way. And if they can find a mentor, that can support them. All of those things will contribute. But what I find interesting is when the Women's Business Center program began in 1988, this is the Small Business Administration setting up a Women's Business Center program. In 1988, if you were a women business owner, and say you had a bakery, and that bakery, your oven collapsed, and you needed to get a loan to get a new one to continue with your business. You know your banker, you've been paying your bills on time, your credit rating is great. You couldn't go to the bank and get a loan without a male co-signing. And I'm not talking 1888, I'm talking 1988.
Yeah.
So when you've had those barriers in the way, in terms of women achieving equality, whether in employment or in small business ownership, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
And again, I hope centers like ours across the country are helping women achieve the success.
Yeah, and just before we wrap up, I think that the mentor piece that you offer is absolutely incredible. I don't think you can put a price tag on that, and yet you offer it for free. I mean, I think that as an entrepreneur myself, there's so many times you feel isolated, you feel alone, you don't know who to ask because all your friends work for the man, they're not in your situation. So having a place to go like WEDC to call up and just troubleshoot a problem, I think is absolutely priceless, and I think you're doing a great job.
Right. And mentoring is key, and we can find mentors, pair people up, networking events, all of that is needed.
Okay, that's awesome. So I want to just share with the folks out there the website for the Women's Enterprise Development Center, otherwise known as WEDC. I'm going to flash up the URL here, but it is WEDCBIZ, that's WEDCBiz.org. And if you have any questions or you'd like to get involved with one of these programs, please contact Anne, and we'll see you back here soon. Have a great day, Hudson Valley, and as always, check out our website if you have any comments or suggestions for guests. We'd love to hear from you.